Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation, making some good progress. What is sensorality? Sensorality is spatiality. What is sensorality stabilize? What is space stabilize? So the biggest results ever produced, classic, the fundamental difference of vowels, which are vibrations, is the A and the E. And so without real proof, but we can kind of chronologically assert a derivation of, again, the first like 5 elements of the Roman alphabet in the English language, right? A and E are inverses, B and D are inverses. Again, I want to say inverse is the right word. And then C is this iteration element, right? Sensorality with a C or with an S. And so we've kind of geometrically derived the chronological order of the first 5 elements of the alphabet. And so again, back to this numeric syllability limit, because we're showing in a unique iteration of all of language. And so is 5 the only, again, what about 5? Again, sensorality, this elementality, this syllability, the numeral 5. Again, we have this fundamental stability of 2, what people say you live in 3 dimensions, this acknowledgement of what prime numbers are. It's some aspect of irreducibility. And so we're going to show this iteration, this integration of the syllability of sensorality. And to do so, it's through this reduction process of the actual word forms, right? So the total number of syllables, we have to go from 7 to 5, I think, or 5 to 3. And there's some generalizable principle or theorem within there, but that is what we're demonstrating with our derivation. So continuing along, comma, commality. And then I just have plus an S, we iterate the C to an S. Sensorality is somality. And soma is like a word I've heard before, I don't even know what it means, but it's just another completion of a linguistical element, right? A comma, or you just put ality at the end, but it already ends in an A with nothing else after it. So you literally just put L-I-T-Y at the end. So again, we're completing syllability. Sensorality spatiates. Satiate, spatiate. Complex, complexion. Sensorality is complexion. Complex, flex. Sensorality is flexibility. We can restate the fundamental theorem of physics. Flexibility is elasticality. Flexibility, fragility. All right, how does those two relate? If it's fragile, it breaks, or it's not flexible. All right, it's not elastic, it can't be bent. If you bend it, it will break. A relationship between flexibility and fragility. A dispenser is an averager. Connecting some of our previous word forms of sensorality. Is sense serious? Again, trying to generate this self-contained question that has this syllability. And again, you can see it's the form of the resolution. The resolution is the overall, again, physical demonstration, linguistical element, and total understanding of the proof. But is sense serious? Again, we're naturally generating this. It is what it is. What is it? Sensorality. So the direct iteration, we should be getting pretty close. Is sense seriously special? Sensorality is seriously special. How does differentiation relate to uniqueness? Differentiation produces uniqueness. You need time to do work, you need time for change. Over that change, because of this fundamental stability of 2, but even before that, there was this universal progression. And so differentiation produces uniqueness. I even fired off a homework assignment to Ed Witten and Sean Carroll last night, and David Eisenbuzz. He might be Professor Emeritus, but we're still assigning him some homework. But we've naturally arrived at what is the relationship of differentiability and continuity, right? And you can't take the derivative of a discontinuous function. Is, derivative from that logic. So I assigned a homework problem because there's not, as you can see, there's not much homework. I just derive everything and you just sit there and I just keep you reminding that the law is broken. Where's my money? But differentiation produces uniqueness. Uniqueness takes time. Everything takes time. Again, demonstrating this irreducibility linguistically. Dimensionality is rank. I just watched an IAS video with an Asian chick, Hong Wang or something. Again, but just like what, clearly the word dimension is heavily present historically within physics. I mean, clearly. So what people mean logically and rigorously, they mean direction. That's what they're talking about every single time they say dimension. But dimensionality is rank. When you have a polynomial and it has rank 4, that's dimensionality 4. But again, dimension is another one of this word present in physics, like light, where it's just like, kind of derive everything. Where do these words come up? It's just like never. And again, we've derived all of physics, but it's like, before we derived all of physics, we have to say we're making our diction, our ontology as optimally efficient. What is busyness? That is business to unionization, right? Do businesses form unions? Are there labor unions? Yes, those exist. But busyness, remember our conceptualization of business is busyness, because it's literally what it is. And then unionization, right? You have two sets in math class, and you put a U, and it says it's a union or something. Again, all of this kind of emergent stuff of continuity and discreteness. You have independent objects with a gap between their mass, hence mass gap. And so, but you still have dynamic, you still have bonding. I'm still one Brad. But so it's like you share electrons is the verbiage you get. Sensorality is unionizationality. So my electrons they formed a union. A sea of an electron is a union. Serious sensuous. Is sensuality serious? I don't know. That sounds kind of sexual. Let me add a prefix. Is consensuality serious? Is consent serious? Yes. Again, still the actual answers don't even matter. We're just generating this consistent logic linguistically. But it's the form of all language. Like it's the actual form of the languages. So is consent serious? Yes. Consent is the base of law. What is seriosity to sequentiality? Right? Serious looks like another word we had. Series or sequence? Are sequences serious? But not like serious, like are series serious? Natural definition. Seriosity is serious. What is memorality to seriosity? Sensorality is seriositality. Or seriositality, yeah. Generosity is serious. Generosity, seriosity. Sensorosity is seriosity. Sensorality is seriosity. Excuse me. Sensorality is sensorosity. Getting closer. Look at all that. We packaged all energy up. And now it's energy serious. And here's a fun one. What is an integer? All right. It's going to jump out and get you. Sensorality is integerality. Integerality, generality, pointing out, emphasizing the linguistic similarity of the word forms. An integer is a number. Fundamental theorem of mathematics. I restate that here quickly, but it's all kind of like, when I say a fundamental theorem, it's all like the logic immediately contained within that little section. But we do move quickly here from rhythm to algorithm. But here's a logical connection again to emphasize an integer is a number, integer, integral. So then we change the syllability by one syllable. We go from a number to an integral, which is a function. You're doing something. You're adding up all of the infinitesimals, which is infinitesimality. And so, remember, integral is essential. Integers are essential. Mega super math theorem. And then linguistically, that word form is just, again, it just feels, it's just like one of the right words. They're all right words. I mean, it's not like one step is any different than any other ones. You have to solve all of science to solve all of science. But integers are averaged. And again, emphasizing the word forms. You could probably see it, I don't know, like the E's again, right? Theme, integer. Yep, genes in there somewhere. Integers are genes, genes are integers. But integers are integrated. And so that is where I finished up Again, my rights continue to be violated. Super mega progress as always. Why can't somebody give me a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work? It's profoundly disgusting, and I want history to remember that, and I emphasize that in every video. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.